All right, here we are. Welcome to the next episode of the Holy Hour. We're back with OG founder Donald Tony.
Hey everyone.
We've missed you.
I've missed you guys too.
It's back down here in Asheville.
It's been a while.
It sure has. And boy, do we have some topics to discuss with you tonight. We are heading into a very controversial episode. We've been warned. We've been dragging our feet getting in here. But time has come and we need to face our demons, where we discuss the 1992 album Wish by The Cure. Wish. A very pivotal album for The Cure, a very pivotal album for us. If you listen thus far to our podcast and knowing our timeline,
following along to the riveting tale,
our chronological excitement of Cure, you would know already that Wish was the album. Like we said, we got into Disintegration right when it came out, but Wish would be the next album. Our freshman year in high school, it came out in 1992. And it would be the first album that we saw them live on.
My first show.
Yeah,
the first concert I ever went to.
Wow, yeah, I forgot about that.
It's a biggie.
That's a great first show.
It blew my fucking mind.
You ask 90% of people what their first concert was, and it's always something pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's like something your parents drag you to. Yeah. But my parents never took me to shows.
Yeah.
And
you made it to Wish.
Yeah, I think I saw a friend of mine from marching band in the drum line. He's the fellow quad player. Because I play quads, and he was in a Christian thrash metal band, and that was technically, I don't want to count it, but I guess technically it's the first
you saw his band play.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 bands, and there was another dude,
Christian thrash.
Yeah, and there's another dude.
Yeah, I don't think you can count.
But there's another dude from the drum line. He played snare, and his band played too. And they borrowed my drum kit, and I didn't even fucking play the show, which I'm glad, because I'm not Christian.
Or thrash.
Yeah, I'm not thrash. But there's some good thrash. But, that was my first...
So your first proper paid professional
show. My first, for realsy show was, Wish, and that was... it hit all those points of, a first show where it's, was it RFK or something? No.
Capitol Center.
Yeah, the Capitol Center.
I think it's become whatever the hell arena.
It's
now.
Fucking huge.
Might not even be standing anymore. But yeah, it was basically where the Capitals hockey team would play, the Bullets or Wizards now, I guess.
It's like going to an airport for the first time.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming, and there's just so much input. It's hard to take in, and
the build-up was amazing.
Yeah.
I told earlier podcast of the ticket experience. Super stressful for a high school kid on Ticketmaster. We got the tickets. We made sure we got there in time.
Yeah. And you took care of it and looked out for me. And that was the dopest shit. Just being your friend and just and you're I got your fucking... I made sure you got a ticket, dude. Yeah. You took care of it, and it was so sweet.
And we had a great night before. I remember our friend Bill went with us, and we almost had I remember it being in pajamas. Almost, I don't think we were, but I remember it being slumber party kind of. Yeah. We were playing stupid games name that Cure song, and we were play the first few seconds, and we'd all try to chime in.
Cure trivia night.
Trivia. We're just drinking 5,000 Pepsi Colas or whatever.
I know, it's pre-beer.
Yeah, so we're
those are dark days, and that's the dumb shit you do pre-beer is you
just drink a ton of Pepsi instead.
How long is fucking 3 Imaginary Boys? And you're 3 minutes and 2 minutes, 3 minutes and 2 seconds or whatever. I knew all of that shit. I knew, and it's so weird with iPods and like how I listen to music now. I don't know the names of songs. I don't know the order of the albums. I barely know the album names.
So many nerd details are not a factor anymore.
Yeah, and I used to know everything about an album, like inside and out. And with Wish, like, dissected that album. Like, I don't think any other angle, like, that I haven't thought about it.
Yeah, and even going back to the release,
like the font is great.
Yeah,
like those kind of
let's
details.
hold up on that. I wanted to talk about the actual. Did you have it on cassette? Like I didn't. I just went.
I had the
CD
cassettes and all the singles.
Did you? Yeah, it was all. Did you have it on CD later then? Like,
yeah.
I remember that one was the one that I never bought on cassette. There was that transition time. Yeah, it was like I got the CD. I remember that was like the first one I just like, well, I guess I did it with Disintegration, but I raced home and read all the lyrics while I listened to it the first time and all that. And it was weird. Before it was released too, we had, I guess every Cure fan had that little glimpse with that, remember pay-per-view special play or play out, whatever they ended up putting it out on VHS, but it was like a live thing. And it had them like playing like Letter to Elise, Unplugged, and like had Away, which was what Wendy Time was called Away originally.
Wendy Time is jam. Was that a B-side?
Nah, that's on there. And Cut and Big Hand they played. And it was like, so it was like 4 new songs and it had all this like extra stuff. But I remember that was all like well before the album came. We're like, oh, Wish is gonna be so awesome. And I remember us thinking that Big Hand was gonna be like the big single.
Yeah,
we're like,
it was that and Letter to Elise.
Yeah. They killed it with those, and we're like, what is this Letter to Elise song? This is because even that acoustic version, I still stand by being like.
Fuck, I want to go back and listen to Letter to Elise. I didn't. I haven't listened to it in a while. Like, that song is dope. In the acoustic versions, I remember specifically, hit so hard and were so good.
Slightly
like,
different lyrics. It had some, like, different in the middle. It's, like, really, it's, like, the whole song is just so brilliant. I love that song.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those, like, perfect, like...
But, yeah,
that's a perfect fucking song.
Yeah, and that's a huge part of this album.
Yeah.
But like that hyping it, just getting our like oh my god, this album's gonna be amazing kind of thing. And then it finally came out, I guess. We got that, we got our tickets. Let's talk about the actual show again though. That was a great, we got down it, so we got the build up, we're there.
Going into the arena seeing like walking in, I remember walking in and seeing dudes, like I saw like 1,000 Robert Smiths. Yeah. And it was so funny to see like I remember like seeing older dudes dressed up like Robert Smith, and I wasn't, I just looked like the regular dipshit I am, and like, but seeing these like adults dressed up like a fucking poofy hair, they're like more like a 1984 Robert Smith, and then you'd see like an 86 Robert Smith, and then you'd see like a current Fat Bob guy, and he's just a fat guy. He's just I just put my hair up, but it was so dope. And it was mind-boggling, and I remember thinking it's not, I don't know, it was just it was intense, just seeing all these different people that are into the same things, but it was expressed in such different ways. And I felt disconnected and connected at the same time, because I'm not dressing up and getting to like a fucking like convention-esque, like a Comic-Con version of like, I'm a Robert, I love that. I almost
wish we did, like we should have embraced it more.
It would have been an excuse being that young. I was like fucking 14, dude. You can't judge me for dressing up like Robert Smith. But it was dope. I don't know if that made sense. It's like a weird dichotomy of like,
and even a weird twist on that. Sorry if I'm interrupting you there, but like the idea of being that young, pre-internet, and like high school where we grew up, it was like a weird, like this was like the Cure's big breakthrough follow-up that I want to refer back to. But at the same time, it's still rare, you know. We would catch shit for being Cure fans. People would think you're weird. But I mean, and then just coming into a stadium full of people like you know, I felt like that was like, here we are, these are my people. We're fun. Of course, I didn't want to talk to anybody, but at the same time,
these are my people. These fucking like
all these people. Like, I don't want to look any of them
chubby
in the eye. Like
these
we're all just looking
people.
at our feet, but at the same time, we're all, you know, it's like a weird, special religious thing, you know.
It is,
and that was kind of cool because I was like, I'm not alone. I knew I was right.
Yeah,
this band is good, and you know, of course, in the grander scheme of things, they're like selling millions of albums already by this point and have reinvented themselves 4 times. And dumbass, they're playing the fucking Capitol Center.
It's like we couldn't have dodged that bullet if we tried. Because it was advertised everywhere. Like I remember going to like record stores at the mall, and they'd have like those free magazines, and they'd be like whole fucking Cure issues, and I'd grab like fucking 10 of them.
Yeah, they were all over. Press was huge for this. Yeah, it was because Disintegration done so well, and was huge. Yeah. It was the breakthrough album. I guess we'll touch on that. Like, obvious if you're a Cure fan, you know, but like Disintegration broke through, huge hits, love song on there, and selling out stadiums left and right. So this is the follow-up, which is almost harder for a band because it's easy. Like the breakthrough is always like whoa, wow, we didn't intend it to be the mega selling album, but then like, what do you do next?
It's baffling. Like that has to be some of the hardest shit to do. Because by the time they hit Disintegration, like there was like they had like an army of people working and supporting, like, because labels were still huge at the time, so they had crazy money. And Disintegration just like dropped like a bomb, and
and even the build up from Kiss Me on a grander scheme, I'm sure they knew it was coming.
Disintegration was riding the fucking like Kiss Me wave, you know.
It totally makes sense. But I mean, to us, just being kids, we were like, what? Our band is making it.
Yeah, I mean, because we
they did it. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, I know. It's like, that's so great. That is odd. Like, we latched on to this fucking band, and like, and they were like peaking and killing it. And it's like, no way that my band is
so
fucking
proud of them.
It's
and
weird.
then, as we made our guess before we make our way to our seats, there was a lot of good merch. It's the kind of thing you do when you can't buy beer at a show. You actually buy merch.
You buy giant 90s t-shirts.
90s.
Did they make a medium in the 90s?
Huge,
they fucking did the biggest, dumbest shirts.
I can't remember if like everything was just big on me or what, but like I was like, I'll take the extra large, please. This like 80-pound kid. But
and we're not like dainty guys, you know? And it's weird, like everything was giant on us, and we were like,
where's 6 of them?
What the fuck is this? I know, and I'm probably wearing like 2 t-shirts or whatever, like at the same time anyways.
But we got a couple
90s
t-shirts that I wish I still had. And then a good thing to bring up before we go into the musical side was that you purchased, and I was always jealous.
The tour book.
The program.
Yeah, the tour program. And
tell that for us. Let's just describe it visually. And
this is like a web, like to compare it to modern times, it was like a website that had all the information, all the dumb shit you wanted to know,
like Tiger Beat but way cooler.
Yeah, and it was all just Cure, and it broke down each member and what instruments they played and what bands they liked and
favorite foods, favorite beers, and
and I thought they were so witty, and a lot of it was just dumb shit. Like favorite foods, they were just being funny, and sometimes it was funny. And the bands,
their favorite songs, I remember from the album. I think it was all Wish specific, and I remember that being kind of weird. I was like, wow, all of them love it from the edge of the deep green sea. I think that was like the one, that and End maybe were like the common one that all of them loved. Like,
everyone liked to take credit for that repetitive piano bit that went through the whole fucking song. It's not that clever. It adds tension, yes.
Yeah.
But
Are you choosing to go into that now?
No. I just
brace yourself, listeners.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah, but
as Donald tackles the best song on Wish.
the best song on Wish. Jesus.
Nah, I wouldn't say that, but it's up there.
Yeah, no, it's a good song. I like the guitar solos and that's dope. But,
yeah.
But we're just
sorry, but the program,
yeah,
so
the program is. I ended up learning so much. Like I mowed lawns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like pay for like buying tapes and stuff, and just around the neighborhood, and I literally bought every single like that Robert Smith recommended, and a few from like some of the other guys.
Yeah.
But I discovered My Bloody Valentine, Ride, Dinosaur Jr., fuck. And there's like 2 or 3 other bands, but like I discovered fucking shoegaze.
Yeah.
Through
that's like
going to see Wish,
jam.
And it was like opening up like the briefcase and like Pulp Fiction, where it's just this bright light and
and there's so few avenues back then. Like, like
a curve,
a curve, and like Cocktail Twins, maybe.
Yeah,
even though I think we probably were familiar with them, but
oh god damn, and it's literally changed, like changed my life. Like I was like literally found like, oh, that's my thing. And like how rare in life is it to like
just get a cheat sheet of like like an endorsement from something that you trusted so much, and like, here's like a list of things that will change your life.
and it's amazing, and it's so and in a pre-internet era, it's so, and I like there's no fanzines where we fucking lived. So it was just a rare thing, and I don't know, it's just amazing. Like it was just guided, you know, and I don't think I would have gotten into those bands if I didn't
see them listed there.
You know, maybe I would have, because I was already into The Cure, so like the likelihood is pretty high that I would have been.
Even on the
into
contrast, it's funny how like I love the I wouldn't say I like those bands, but I'm not a big shoegazer.
You're not
guy.
a big shoegazer guy.
Like I try, and it's just like like Jesus and Mary Chain, who I do think is listed. They were in there a few times.
Yeah, Jesus and Mary Chain was one of them.
Like them, I already liked,
and I already knew them.
Yeah, we loved them already.
And like New Order.
Funny, but I wonder on a weird level, like maybe because I didn't buy the program, maybe that's why I don't ride quite as much as you and stuff, because I didn't have, I was like, whatever, they're in there, and I'd heard from you, or and looked at it with you, but having that more attached, like product in your hand of like the list, like the holy,
this guy says
grail,
it's fucking cool,
like
and I think this guy's fucking dope as shit.
You just had like that extra push to like dig in right off the bat, and while I had to struggle through
dope Uncle Bob, like check out right. Lol,
at that point,
Lol thinks they're stupid, so it's probably all right.
So it was a pretty important document. And,
it is.
And Donald still has it. It would be interesting to look it up on eBay, see how much it's going for. I wonder if people like sell like, like what the hell? Not that you would sell it, but I'm just
always thinking about $1.
Hey man, sell that shit. You already know the bands now.
You already read it.
you read it. No, it's just out of curiosity if it's even possible to get anymore. I wonder if it's even possible to.
Sadly, I did look it up on eBay, and it does exist, and it's like
for $14,
$30. It's like you'd have like $20.
It's doable.
Yeah. But it's funny, like
kind of oversized, wasn't it? Like a big program. It was
it's pretty big.
It wasn't like a.
But it's an important document because it's one of those things I think in life where you're like, I'm on the right path. Because I like ended up getting into a band, that was a little like off of the norm, and that led me into bands that were more off the norm, and it's like a destiny, and it was just like I'm on the right path. Like I saw the sign in the woods that said like your house this way, and I was just walked down the path blindly, like yep, and it worked
Robert
out.
said so.
And it worked out perfectly. He was absolutely fucking right. Like fucking a majority of those bands are dope as shit and have made so many fucking good records. And people, just shoegaze is the jam. And I hear so many elements in early Cure. You know, like I hear what he like. I feel like I heard kind of what he was listening to in those bands, like with shit they were doing back in the day, and even current times.
Those are
like
all even at that point.
Yeah, like everything's in the same wheelhouse. Is what I'm trying to say. You know, like
and there were younger bands than him.
I could see why he was attracted to those bands.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But it's weird that he didn't just like list like shit that influenced him, like Jimi Hendrix, and it was almost like the other degree of like these are younger bands.
And there's all modern bands, young modern bands too.
So it's cool that he like listed those, and it wasn't just like
a bunch of old shit, like a bunch of safe shit.
Hendrix, it's like whatever. But so it's pretty cool. I wonder if
Eric Clapton, man, some great guitar player, Eagles.
It's like great, all right, but that's cool.
California.
And I believe one of the bands listed in there was also the wonderful opening act, the Cranes.
Yeah.
Which I did not enjoy very much watching them, because basically anybody
that chick's
for the
voice
Cure
is
kills
intense,
me.
man.
Yeah, I've gone back and
bit...
liked them, but they're so mood oriented, or it's like good music to me anyway. It's like nice to just put on, but I can't get.
They're deemed as like, I discovered this a while ago. Like, there's like waves of shoegaze where they refer to as like first wave, second wave. You know, like My Bleed Valentine, and like I think even like
that was the Cranes again. By the way, if I mumbled through that.
Yeah, the Cranes. But I think the Cranes are like the second wave, along with like Curve and stuff.
Yeah.
And I liked the Cranes, so I forced myself to like the Cranes.
Yeah.
Because it's like the first band, because they opened. Yeah, it's the first band I fucking saw, and like. And I've really
technically your first live show.
Yeah,
the Cranes.
I know. Interesting. And I stopped listening to them forever.
Yeah.
And started like re-listening to them in the past couple of years, and I kind of like found some joy and started digging them a bit. Like I like it's like overly produced. The chick's voice is so high and intense. Yeah. And I can see why people were like, they have their dull moments, but they have their brilliant moments. I mean, that's
and
like,
it made sense. Like that would be a band that opens for the Cure.
Yeah.
I remember even like enjoying it, but not hating it. But
I mean,
my only discomfort was just that this is the band standing in between me and watching the Cure.
Yeah.
It was like, get off the stage, just make it end.
I was just like, that chick is fucking hot.
She's like the size of an ant.
Yeah. And she's a babe, you know.
I never even looked her up later.
That was a good looking bunch of kids.
Yeah. Huh.
That was a good looking band.
I'll have to check that out later. But yeah.
That sounds gross.
I'm going to check that out. All right. Get some Google Docs going. Well, then the show starts. Opens with Open. And the cool thing, we were talking about this briefly, was the shows along that tour, many fit the pattern of they would play most places 2 nights, and the first night would be what ended up being the album show. If you're familiar with the Cure's live albums, Show in Paris came out shortly after the release of Wish, and they were like recordings from that tour. Mm-hmm. And the night we saw them was definitely the show. And then the second night, because we had friends in high school that went the second night, and that was the more Paris night, and where they would play like At Night and Figurehead and Catch and stuff like that. The one we saw was more Wish start to finish with hits sprinkled in. We were talking about like the contrast, like the Us Now is kind of like, man, Paris probably would have been pretty sweet.
Like
to
that
see.
second show would have been
and I definitely even remember being like super jealous that it wasn't the exact same set. Like hearing people the second, I was like, what? They played different songs? I was like, I knew I should have got both.
All these better songs?
Yeah, and like, but, and you know, like we were saying, like, the first time seeing the Cure, we were into that album so hardcore, and you're sprinkling in like in between days, and just like and it's like that.
Like they hit the milestones and the classics and the standards.
Yeah, I mean, and even now, like when you put Show on, that's like I mean, that doubles as the greatest hits, really. I mean, it's like...
It does.
It's like Wish is pretty solid all the way through, and then that sprinkled on top is like... There's no, like, lagging moment by any means as far as, you know, a solid live album. And Paris is pretty solid, too. And and it is, and like that lineup is kind of the classic Cure lineup. Really, it was like Porl across the front, Porl, Robert playing guitar, Perry playing guitar and keyboards. Then you got Simon on bass and Boris on drums. No Lowell. Yeah. This is the first non-Lowell album officially. I think Lowell's been gone for quite a while by that point, technically, but officially.
And I'm bummed by that. I'm
first non-Lowell album.
Yeah, I was so, like, in retrospect, I was bummed, like, I was kind of hating Lowell at the time.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, so it was like, whatever. But now that I'm older and more pro Lowell, I'm kind of sad I didn't get to see him, but I'm happy I got to see, you know, I think The Cure at, like, the last stronghold of a band, like, where they're just dope. Like, Porl was killing, and like Boris was fantastic. Even on Wish, like his playing, like the drumming on Wish is satisfying. It's swingy, and that's what makes it so different than Disintegration, where it's more synth based and more like he's kind of doing drum machine-esque shit, which he did fucking perfectly. And Wish, it's like it gets swingy and more guitar-y, like you were saying, and
rocking stuff and swinging stuff. Definitely more variety.
And it's weird. It's weird. Then first listening to it, it made it sound so new and weird. You know, with a band that like recreated itself often sound wise, you know, like some bands just get in a rut and stay in it and just like, this is what we do.
And variations of themselves, even. Yeah. Even the fact that Wish didn't have Roger, too. That's a weird, the keyboard player.
Yeah.
Because he came in full swing for Disintegration.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
But then dropped out for that one and then would be back pretty much all the way from there. But you notice it. It's like, and he's not in there on that one. And
it's so different. And he was all over Disintegration. He killed Disintegration perfectly. Like, I like killed in a good way. Like, he just nailed it so fucking perfectly. Like,
for
that's such beautiful, like, texturing of the string synths. Like, it sounds...
Execution of the parts. Yeah, for sure.
Some of the best washy synths, like, layering that I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah,
like, beautiful melodies, like, stacked and stacked. Just dope melody, dope melody, dope melody, dope melody. And they did that with something like re-listening to Wish recently. Like, you know, I was kind of listening to it with that in mind, that difference between, you know, the synth bass to the guitar. And they're doing the same structure of the melodies. It's just done with like fucking 400 guitar tracks. And it swings a little more.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It's cool. Yeah, I totally agree. And you feel that, and I think it's a huge underestimated angle of no Roger and Perry being basically an extra guitarist.
Like they swapped them out.
But like it's weird that it's like an extra guitarist more / because at that point he was playing a lot of the Lowell-ish keyboards too, because he was kind of a Lowell-y style keyboardist. I
mean, you could hit one or two buttons for a whole song. I mean,
but I would go back to like
those are big shoes to fill.
And we'll go into the specific songs real quick later, but like Trust is a great, like, or if Roger had played it, would be like a big piano suite. But it was like, I think even Perry had written the majority of that song. That was like one of the ones he brought to the table, if I remember correctly. But and it's simple but cool, like a little more complex than like a Lowell ditty or whatever. But even though I don't know if Lowell even really wrote any of the parts, but like those old kind of Robert-y plucking out one note kind of things. But it wasn't really nice quite Roger-y, but yeah, it's just like this really beautiful kind of little piano-y kind of part, and like that song to me always definitely a huge part of Wish.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, to backtrack to the guitar stuff, maybe real quick.
Yeah.
Cool with that. Just how that was a kind of an interesting factor of it being the loud guitar album.
Yeah.
That the world wanted at that point, and which was a little weird because they were kind of catering to what was popular at the time, but at the same time, everybody was just kind of sick of keyboards by that point, so it makes sense. And I guess the Nirvana angle, but yeah, kind of neat.
But you have that, at that point, like they had so much money behind them, like their label, like they just had a lot of label money, and like it was marketed to the nth degree, like it was everywhere.
This was the fucking album to sell platinum, triple gold, whatever.
They should
like to reiterate what we said earlier. This was the breakthrough album follow-up.
Yeah,
I think it's just so important to put that title on Wish because it's like. It's not an easy thing to do, and it's a weird ass, like a band that's been established. They don't really even care. Like I feel like at the heart of it, Robert probably, because they had like officially even said that he's broke up after Disintegration.
Silly. Yeah, it's silly at this point.
But going into that, like you said, this is the first time MTV cared. Like mainstream alternative music was breaking big with Nirvana and stuff. That was a huge time for alternative music, like college rock, whatever it was that they were called before that. New wave college rock was like there, but nobody like REM style. But now all of a sudden, like everybody cared.
And do you think that was
because
for a purpose, like? Or for a reason, like there's this money behind them.
Oh yeah,
and they're just like, all right, here's some fucking guitar crap. Like they've made dope music since they've been making fucking records, dope fucking records since the fucking late 70s.
Yeah, I don't think it was like
and it gets to that point. It's like
commercial thing.
I think it was. I think that switch to guitar was purposeful. Because there was a lot more at stake. There's a lot of money and things at stake, and they mentioned
like in his heart he wanted to make a synthy album.
It beats the fuck out of me. I mean, because but
it's like
when you have free reign to do whatever you're gonna do, he gets all George Lucas-y with these fucking like
But I mean, in his heart,
maybe not that bad. I'm sorry. I take that back.
Come on, man.
That went too far. That George Lucas comparison was too far. But like left to your own devices, and you have free reign. And what does the band do? And
I think just being conscious of knowing. I mean, it's a positive compliment, really. It was like saying being conscious of what is current.
Yeah.
And the same time, if you look at even those bands though that he listed that you love from that list, I mean, Ride and My Bloody Valentine, they're all guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, and like
it's very guitar-y, synthy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still definitely leaning more towards like guitar feedback and stuff.
But they didn't do any like shoegazy shit. I mean, there's some shoegazy guitar tones actually on the album, but not like
in the 40 tracks.
Not like not like
like the whole song's based on
just like a fucking like a three reverbs
that you just kind of put in the background. But that's kind of
there's elements
actually backing up your theory a bit more. They were smart enough probably at that point, and that would be the guilty side of like they knew that this was going to be an album that's going to sell a ton.
Yeah, they knew it
sucked or not, but so try to make it a bit more commercial.
Like. And they started playing the game a bit.
Yeah. And then in a good way, but at the same time, too, I guess I'll go more into the individual tracks. Because there's a few tracks on the album, I feel like, where it's the obvious, like, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because they got, hit pretty hard after Disintegration, almost rightfully so, because it's such a down, gloomy album.
Yeah.
And I think that bothered them, where it's like, they don't want to
But they've, like... been fucking dick deep in gloom for fucking 20 years.
Not all of it, and that's what it is. Like when he wants to be sad, he's gonna be really fucking sad. But like there was plenty of like times prior to Disintegration where they were like way more poppier than the poppiest band out. Like Love Cats, The Walk. Half the stuff on.
He's always had a toe.
Kiss me. Yeah, I mean, like, Why Can't I Be Used has been out for a while by that point, And
True.
It's like, And yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. We're like, oh, you want some hits? I give you some hits.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're not just a gloom band. We can crank some hits out. And I think there's probably a huge element of that. All right, so now let's take a quick glance at the actual song by song of Wish. We're not going to play you snippets or dwell on them too long because
maybe a little bit.
Yeah, and it's 12-track album, and yeah, so Wish. It opens with a song called Open.
What? Open? What a fucking clever name to start to open a record with.
Yeah, but you know, there's not much else to go by. If you look at lyrics, it tells a story. It's very claustrophobic feeling. The tension is building. You know, they clearly had to just do like a new order where they pick like a word that isn't in the song. Cause
you have to set a tone for the record.
Mm-hmm.
And as we discussed, like, it does set a tone of tension. And I think that is a big part of the record is it does build tension throughout the record. And you have the song sadly named Open, but it does set a tone. And like we were discussing at one point with with the lyrics on the record, like thematically throughout the record, kind of thinking about it now, Open does make a little sense lyrically, where
maybe saying open up to this idea of this album. Like maybe there's more to it than it just being the first song. Like
open isn't that literal, maybe.
Yeah, maybe saying I'm opening up, going to this party, but I'm still feeling the tension.
Yeah.
And so maybe it has nothing to do with it being the opening track.
Possibly. I'm rethinking this right now.
But you expressed not being a fan of the lyrics in general,
yes.
All of it. Just like another glass in my hands.
Hey, what's that over there?
And he's just kind of narrating a stroll through the room.
Yeah.
Which I get, but don't you think that's good?
No.
Why?
It's too fucking literal. I don't know. It's not just
like a
dumb.
Johnny Cash song.
It's just
or something.
dumb, and it's
painted.
like I don't like the cadence, the lyrics, and like the pace. He's like, "Side of blue that I'm standing over there, and I'm firing in the corner, and I'm getting another drink, and this guy's bugging me, and I'm getting another
how does
drink."
that differ from like the song Disintegration, maybe versus like even 100 Years, where it's very like.
Well, that was all dope and fucking dipped in reverb and sounded cool.
Let's play a reverb on Open. Every Cure has plenty of reverb.
I know.
I don't think there's any
but it was a good
reverb deficient Cure song.
I'm sorry. You're comparing an average song to good songs. There's a reason why they're good songs, because they're good fucking, because they're not open. It's not this like
I guess what
it's like a might feel like Bob Dylan, where he's just like and just like you have whole songs where he's just like rambling about some shit, and
a lot of people consider Bob Dylan a pretty good lyricist.
Like Robert Smith's not a rambling man. And he's a rambling man in this song, just scooting through a party like, "Hey, dude, what's over there? And I'm gonna do the line, man." And that's not Robert Smith. Like, I guess it is. I mean, he wrote the fucking song, but it's just weird.
It doesn't sound anything like that. Yeah,
it blew. It's like peeking behind the curtain.
Yeah,
fucking Oz, just like. I'm just a fucking meandering asshole like every other guy in the party. Like, I feel awkward. Yeah, people are stressing me out.
But that's better than a wrangling man. He's feeling awkward. That's like the tension and the whole point of the song. He's not like fucking wrangling through the party going, "Oi!"
There's less literal ways to build tension than saying I'm feeling tense. But
it's still not even very literal. If you really look at the lyrics, it's not.
It is.
It's not super literal. He couldn't maybe not even be at a party. We don't know what the situation is, but. Anyway, well, lyrically...
You had a favorite lyric from this fucking song.
"The way the rain comes down hard, that's how I feel inside." And that's a great fucking line. Because how many times have you just been somewhere and you just like, yes, this is happening now. Like you're having this crappy situation and then the rain's pouring down and you're like, this is it. This is exactly how I feel inside. and summed up perfectly, I think. But anyway,
what other things sum up how you feel inside? Like the fucking, it's just so, like, I mean, it's a nice lyric in the end, but it's fucking so fucking like literal, like rain and tears. I never would have made the connection.
That's like 80% of the Cure. Like, there's like some song about rain on every Cure album. Like,
I know they're
at the beginning. I mean, of course he's gonna talk about how he feels in rain and being down. You know, like, why are you still like so like what? How are you like offended all of a sudden by that? Like a whole fucking song's called "Prayers for Rain." But, like, that didn't bug you?
And that song's so good, and it starts with the rain sound.
Yeah,
and I love that.
There's a lot of rain in that song. That didn't
so
bother
literal. Yeah, I know. And, and I mean, thinking about it as I'm talking shit, thinking about like all the previous lyrics, like they're not.
It's the mood and the the whole package. I think that's the best way to look at these songs. It's like it matched the guitars, it matches the real.
It does,
and even the cadence. That's what I was getting at with like Disintegration and. In 100 years, it's kind of always been there. That the crocodiles cry. And it's always those longer kind of songs. It's been there, but
and that has its moments, and it sounds fantastic. And I'm dumping on it, but I mean I listened to the song like 4,000 times, and I've loved it for like a decade, hated it for 5 years, liked it for another decade or some shit like. Yeah. It goes on and off, and this is how I feel right now about it. But
let's bring it to a happier mood of the next track. The first single, "High."
The song's a jam and deserves to be the first single.
Pleasant song. Yeah, I think it's hard to, and it's a good catchy pop song because it is very. It's not outwardly like "Friday I'm in Love" kind of pop song. Like here we are, like a great first single.
It's just like a little subtle, like hey, hi.
It's catchy. It's pleasant.
Hello.
It's got like. So many great levels and layers of catchiness.
Yeah.
Lyrics are nice, but they don't really have to stand out or really do anything. And
wonderful melodies. There's like, you could take like just one part of that song, like a little guitar riff, and make a whole song out of it.
Yeah.
Like you can make 40 songs out of that song.
Yeah.
And so,
exactly. You could base like a whole chorus just on one of those guitar riffs or something. And they're always so great with their like production too, of like just like that whole like smitten as that, and like most bands wouldn't do that on like a single, and just like they were like always.
It sounded weird to hear that in the '90s. It made sense when they were doing that like early in their career, like little, like in the songs are always peppered with like little things,
like and the higher
little
harmonies
breaths and shit. But it was weird. Hearing that on a guitar record, and I think that's why that's one of the, where that
let's get that out, and
it showed their age a bit, in this era of guitar, and Nirvana, and
well, at least that they're not like trying to compete with Nirvana and like with the
I mean they're
like
not trying to play in this
like a 3-piece just. Distortion rock kind of punky stuff.
It just showed their age a bit, I thought, and then it's not bad. It just shows their age.
Like they're sticking to what they're doing at that point.
Yeah.
Track 3, "Apart," is a downer number. It's kind of surprising that it's that high on the listening back again. And for this, I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of surprised that was that high up in the track order. It's like "Part," just kind of a good sad song. I love it. It's got a great like bass line. Mentioned earlier, there's kind of a reminiscent riff of Big Hand, so maybe that's why Big Hand maybe even transformed into this, or vice versa, and that's maybe why they both weren't on the album. They had to choose, but that's just my own little weird theory. But
I feel nothing about the song. I can't even remember it.
And you want me to sing it again?
Yes.
How did we get this far apart? We used to be so close. Cool thing. Let me throw this at you.
What was that?
Vocal, and they've done it other times with a cool kind of thing that stood up. I'm just gonna ignore that. But just a snore through the greatest album ever recorded. That's cool. But a cool trick that they do. There's a whisper track on that album.
Yes, I know what you're talking about now.
Where it basically just like it's to understand, and like there's like a whisper of the melody, the main vocal melody, and there's like a whole. That's
fucking weird. I remember. I know what you're talking about,
and it's weird because it's not like buried. It's kind of the same volume,
and it has like a very repetitive, like boom, kind of beat. Like it just maintains that. And there's like these whisper tracks and
old
these.
Curie, if any of them, that's probably the closest to like some kind of faith type song or something. But I don't know. I love that one. It's one I never really loved right off the bat, unless I was feeling down that day. But like, as far as that album, that was like. One that I really dug.
Was there acoustic guitar on that? Like a little like strummy? No?
Not off the top of my head. Nothing that stood out more than like later versions of probably would have that, but no.
That's a dumb song.
Track 4. From the Edge of the Deep Green Sea.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I have a feeling you have some issues. Some bones to pick.
You talk about the song, and I'm gonna make a noise that represents the fault of the song and almost the whole record. This is indicative of the overall, like, there's a layer of annoyance on this record.
Okay.
All right, talk about it.
Great song.
Clank, clank, tank, clank,
noted as a favorite between all the members of the Cure.
Clank,
10 minutes long. Great song. It builds tension. Lyrically very strong. The music is great. It's another one that builds great tension. There's one part in particular that I love about the song is the piano part that just goes through the whole thing. I think it's genius. If you listen to it, it really just captures the tension of this like song, how it kind of keeps going and it builds and it has so many good one-liners and just all in all, I think it's one of the best Cure songs ever written.
Shut the fuck up.
I would think it's I'd probably put it maybe in the top 10.
Shut the fuck.
It's great. It's a great song.
Fucking way.
It's so layered. Who the hell can write a 10-minute long song and not repeat any part of it, really?
Any asshole. Any asshole can do that.
But it doesn't, like, how many times have you listened to that song and you not realized it's, like, already been 8 minutes into it? It's like, it doesn't seem long.
There's
if you want to kill 10 minutes, you put on that song, and it's like, holy crap, that's
I know.
10 minutes. There's no denying that.
And I give a shit because I love it. And it's so close to being...
I love things, that's why I kill them.
I know.
But, go on.
It's how I love.
If you must.
And it's how I let people know I love them. But one of the really best parts about this record, I think, and this song, why I like it, is... it's
so you like it now?
I know. I bash it, but I like it. And that's what people do with things they love, I think. That's what I do. I dissect things I like and like why I like them, and I find so much joy in doing that. And then sometimes, like things aren't so cut and dry, where like this beautiful flower is poisonous as fuck.
Yeah.
This cute little creature could eat me when I'm asleep. There's so many things, where it conflicts. Like this, that's what makes life enjoyable. There's conflicting things, and
do you think if every guitar track on this was replaced with some kind of strings or synth, that would it be a very disintegration-y song?
Yes, it would be fantastic. If
you like it better that way?
Yes, absolutely.
Huh.
Absolutely. Like if you took the swing out of the record, and just tightened up the rhythm.
The record as a whole, you think?
Yes, the record as a whole. If you just unswung it, replaced all the guitars with fucking keyboards,
but then it would
sound
pretty much the same.
Dope as shit. But leave in some guitar shit, But just like
there's a lot of guitars on Disintegration too.
Yeah, exactly. Like like a lot of the filler, not filler. That's not in a demeaning way, but just the filler, like the stuff behind all the stuff, like
the track 36 and
it's just like a fucking like a little like 10-watt amp from like the 40s
just
with like
turn it on and record.
Yeah, it's just like in the back.
While on Disintegration it was
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's just like one note.
Yeah,
or
sense.
One repetitive piano track going clank, 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 clank. Do the whole song. So fucking unnecessary.
Very Wilco.
That's my synopsis.
Though. Maybe
it is.
Quick
it
side
is.
note. Like, don't you think?
I know what you're talking about.
Like two bands that would probably never think of themselves as being similar, but there's a billion very similar Wilco, Robert Smith, Jeff Tweedy.
Really?
Parallels. Yeah, that's maybe a whole podcast.
I can kind of see like the structure and like
just the fact that there's that one dude and like all these weird songs that have changed forms. Anyway, we'll save that for another.
Yeah.
Wilco versus the Cure. Anyway, so
and that's gonna be our DJ night at
that nobody gets but us.
What was that bar in Canton?
Sagebrush.
Yeah, we'll be DJing at the Sagebrush
in Canton,
Canton, North Carolina.
Canton, North Carolina. 20 minutes outside.
Wilco versus the Cure, the awkwardest dance night.
Everyone's like, what?
Why don't you like?
There's no connection between this.
Why don't you do like the Smiths and Cure? No, it's Wilco.
Wilco Cure. That's where it's at these days.
And
Track 5.
And then following up, we'll do the Jayhawks versus Joy Division dance night.
That would be good. We were trying to bring in all kinds of crowds. That's great. We should do that more. It's like, what? Who are you going for?
That'd be dope. That'd be so
I bet
fucking
there's
awkward.
more crossover Wilco Cure fans than you would think.
Oh, I bet.
But on the surface, probably not that many. Who knows? But
I'm just picturing.
Like there should be.
I'm just picturing the crowd, and then like them judging each other, and then like enjoying each other, and there'll be like matches made. Like I never thought I'd like a goth, and look, I never thought I'd like a country rock person.
There you go.
That's beautiful.
Dreams can come true.
I know. We should do that on every Valentine's.
Wilco and the Cure.
Awkward.
Not even verses, just together.
It should be an app like awkward hookups, like a Tinder.
Do you like Wilco and the Cure?
Like what the fuck? We should probably fuck. I like he
How
means.
crazy is that?
I mean,
It's actually not that crazy. There's a lot of similarities.
That's still a little like I'm a little country. I'm a little rock and roll.
I'm a little bit coffee.
I'm a little coffee.
I'm a little bit prog rock. I'm a little dead rock. Track 5. This might be the one that loses me a little. This would be the song I would switch out for a B-side. Preferably. We'll talk about the B-sides real quick later, but Wendy Time. I'm torn on this song. Certain days I love it. Certain days I hate it. And then certain days, which is most, I'm like, whatever. It's track 5. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But it's got the wah-wah going hardcore.
Dude, the whole fucking song, like the fucking goddamn fucking... It's a dumb fucking song. This song is a waste of all the talent that is in that band. It's fucking around. It's fucking around. It's a fucking around in the studio
just
song.
Calm down.
It is.
Coach, just calm down.
You guys are just sitting on your asses.
Calm down, Coach. This album still sold millions of copies. Everything worked out okay.
Look at you, Perry. You fucking spiked your hair up like a dickhead. You asshole.
It's all right. I guess
fucking,
I still think more fondly of the song.
You guys
than you do,
think about
apparently.
what you did before you get on the field, and you think, who has a fucking heart?
I'm trying to think back because
that's my coach speech
Good job.
to the Cure.
Yeah, let's go get him.
Like, go get it, guys. Go write fucking Wendy Time. Let's go. Go team. Don't write a dumb fucking song and waste my fucking time. Make me wish there was only... This is why it's called Wish. I wish there was only 10 songs in the fucking record.
Well, that would
I'm
be
saying it.
2 that you cut out. So that's going to be the first you cut?
Probably.
Maybe Open. You seemed very anti.
I know, Open and End.
Okay, so you're already out, dude.
We'll get to End.
Well, we'll come to that at the end, but we'll
End
see.
has its moments, though.
Yeah. Anyway. Wendy Time.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked it on when we had the pre-thing on Play Out or whatever it's called, Play. I feel like they added like Out. Or what was it? Play Out, the pay-per-view thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it was more like chill though. It wasn't all like wah-wah-y. It was like it was called Away then.
It was better mellowed out.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah,
but I'm kind of I might be mixing it up with another one too. But anyway, so whatever. It's Wendy time. Track 6. Who cares? Let's move on. Doing the Unstuck. This is one I'm kind of torn on.
Jesus fucking
I'm
Christ.
going to start out by saying I love this song. I love every part of it except one line, and the one line is the "Let's Get Happy." I don't know if that's like just so deliberate, like this isn't Disintegration, so let's get happy. But so many good like riffs in that song, like where it starts the perfect day for letting it's like down. There's like it's
that 12-string like it's a perfect day for
it's not that fast.
It's all strummy and fast.
Hey, drummer man, you should know the tempo better than that.
Nah, but it's one of those like super fast strummy.
Yeah. And I think it works. Like if you just took out "Let's Get Happy" and replaced it with something else, it's a great song. Even like the whole like "Setting Fire to Bridges," like all the like phrasing's great. There's so many guitar parts that are really cool. It's good. Like, but the "Let's Get Happy," and I almost like want to look up if "Let's Get Happy" is like just like a British phrase or something, you know, like that made a little more
British phrase.
Like, you know, like, so let's get happy, you know, but I mean, it just seems like such a deliberate, like, all right, we're not sad right now, so I just made the song that says "Let's Get Happy," and it's like, why'd you say that, you know? But at the same time,
there's better British phrases.
But it wasn't even a single for that happy of a song, and it wasn't even a single. I don't think.
Get some crisps.
Yeah, I don't know. So you were not a fan? It's hard to tell. I'm not sure how to read your reaction.
It's one of these. It's a whimsical Cure song for me, where I don't like whimsy in the Cure, but sometimes it works.
Mm-hmm.
And I like a bunch of the whimsical songs in the end, you know.
Yeah.
Like Love Cats is the jam.
Yeah.
But that's like ba 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 da 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 da. But like it's silly. It's a silly fucking song. But it sounds nice. And this song, it's always bugged me. The fucking name is stupid.
Yeah.
A theme with the record. I wish they named the songs, you know.
Yeah, you have a lot of issues with the titles then.
It's fucking dumb. Doing the Unstuck. And I like how it starts off. I don't like it's like the music gets so whimsical. It's like slides like and things, and it's like oh woo, here we go. It's like a fucking like a I don't ride roller coasters, but like it's like a fucking roller coaster, like a modern day ride where there's like screens and shit, and everything's like, here you go, dipshits, you're gonna drop down this, woo, and there's like some old miner in the side when you're in the cart, and he's like, there you go, kids, you fucking dipshits. And you like dropped out of the ride. It's like I don't need. But the lyrics, it's the theme of the lyrics with the whole fucking record. Like he's just like telling us shit. He's not like writing a fucking song about it. He's just like telling us crap about his.
I could not disagree with you more. That's all any song is. People. All it is any song is somebody telling you something. He's not like trying to convince you of political things. It's not Bono. He's just telling you shit. And they put it to music and it matches the mood of the music. But let's move on. Goodbye. Oh my goodness, this is getting real steamy here. We best take a breather and break this up into 2 episodes. Yes, conveniently, this is where, if you had the cassette, Wish ended anyway. So we'll pick up in the next episode on side 2, side B, where Donald will hopefully have a little more love for Wish. But I wouldn't bank on it. But we'll pick up with Friday I'm in Love, the big hit. If that doesn't win him over, nothing will. But until then, be sure to subscribe on iTunes. We're exclusively on iTunes now. If you're getting this episode, then you're in touch with the new feed. Sorry if you've already subscribed, but resubscribe to this one because we had some hosting changes. And hopefully this will be the long haul here, and subscribe. Also leave comments. I think we lost a few really good comments, so it would be great to hear some new stuff from you guys, good or bad. We want to hear it all. Post it on iTunes, and I think that helps it pop up on the searches a bit more. So please leave some comments. If you just feel like you have to rant even more about how crazy Donald's opinions are on this stuff, or myself even, maybe you agree with Donald, I don't know, drop me an email, gavinconner, GAVINCONNER, so gavinconner at gmail.com. Drop me an email and let me know what you're thinking of all this madness. We are also on Instagram now, so check out The Holy Hour Podcast. That's all strung together, The Holy Hour Podcast on Instagram, and we'll let you know there when we have new episodes and throw a few little tidbits in for fun in between. Until then, get the next episode. Wish 2 is coming up soon here, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for listening. Drop us some comments and subscribe, and we'll see you around 2016. Thanks for making it through the trial run of 2015. I think we're going to try to do this more regularly. So keep your ears peeled, and lots of great cureness is bound for 2016. So we'll see you there. Talk hard.